Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'll teach us how to cut an A-line dress. An A-line dress with, so the front neck is gonna be a V-neck with band, a V-neck with a collar. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is you fold your fabric into two like so. You fold it into two like so. So once you are done folding, then you fold again into four. So this time you are going to be folding in bias. Can you see the way I'm folding it? You fold it in bias shape like what I have here now. So once you are done doing this, I'm gonna take it again. You fold it into two, then the next one you fold into four. So I said the next one you fold into four, you're gonna be folding it in bias shape, just like what I have here now. So I'm going to take the measurement. So from the neckline here, I'm going to draw the shoulder line. So before you draw the shoulder line, just determine your shoulder. The shoulder I'm working with shoulder of 16 inches. So on fold, I have 8 inches on fold. So the 8 inches, you add extra like 1 inch allowance there. So you have 9 inches, but I have more than 9 inches here. So then you rule the line. So you take the shoulder line. You rule it. So the next thing you want to do is you now measure your shoulder to shoulder measurement. So I have 8 inches. Shoulder to shoulder measurement of 8 inches. Then the armhole line. So I'm going to take my armhole line of 8 inches. So before you take the armhole line of 8 inches, you need to have taken your 1 inch shoulder slope. So from the 1 inch shoulder slope, you can now take your armhole length. So the armhole length I'm using is 8 inches. So I'll measure the 8 inches. So this is 8 inches. So I'll connect the shoulder line to the 8 inches. Then I'll determine the center of the 8 inches. I have 4 inches. So from the 4 inches, you go from the center of your armhole line, you mark the center, then you go in by half an inch, and this is going to be for the front. So from there you connect it. So I'll connect the back armhole first, then after that material is a stretchy material. So once you are done doing the back, then you connect the front. This is what I have for the front. Then you connect it up here. So this is what I have here now. So for the neck depth, for the neck width, I'll be using 3 inches for the neck width. 3 inches. Because I'm gonna be putting collar at the neck, so I'll come down for the back neck. I'll come down by 1 inch. I'll be coming down by 1 inch. So for the back neck, I'll come down by 1.5. And for the front neck, I'll come down by 3 and half. So from there you connect the line, you connect it. So for the front too, you connect it. I'll just use my free hand because of the material is stretchy, so I'll just use my free hand to curve the neck. So now once you are done with this side, then we move to the lower part. Then we want to determine the length. I'm using the length 43 inches plus 1.5 inches hemming allowance. The half is for the shoulder, while the remaining one is for hemming allowance. So I'll take the 44 inches. That then I'm going to take my bust measurements. The bust measurement I'm working with is 44.5. So half of 44.5 should be around 11 and quarter. So plus 1 inch seam allowance. So I have everything here now. Then you determine the hip line of 26 inches and calculate what you have around here. So this is the hip line here. I'll just measure the hip line. I have 26 inches. Then you measure what you have around there to check if it is exactly what you want for the hip area. So I have more than enough for the hip area. So for the bust area too, I have more than enough. So now I'm going to cut it out. That slope as well. So now we are going to cut the back neck before cutting the front. So this is the back neck. So I will open up here now. So I'll pull it down so I can cut the front. So now I'll cut the front neck as well, which I have. So this is what I have for the front. I'm going to do a little adjustment to the front neck, okay? So now this is the back. The back is going to have zipper. You might be wondering that I didn't put zipper allowance at the back. Yes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slit the back. I will slit the center back open. Done doing that, I'll cut a facing. So once I place the facing on it, I'll be stitching by 1/2 inch on both sides, so that by the time I'm using a jeans zip, all these metal kind of zip. That's what I'm using for the back. So by the time I place the zip on it, the zip will replace the 1/2 inch I'll be taking away on both sides of the center back. Slit it open. I'm going to be cutting facing for this slit here, like so. Moving to the front, because the front is going to have a v-neck shape. The reason why I cut out this place is so you will know how many inches you will need at the front here by the time you want to add your band, because I'm going to be adding band to the front here, but it's going to have v shape as well, plus band at the front. So the reason why I left this place like this is so you can measure what you have around there and you keep that in mind. So what I have around here now is 5.5. Remember, I'm still going to take half away from here, so I'll be left with 5 inches. So let's unfold this 5 inches, which means when I open it I'll have 10 inches. So what that means, the band, that the collar at the front is going to be 10 inches long, so that by the time I want to fix it, I'll know how many inches I'll be leaving for the front. So now for the v-neck, since I came down by 3 inches here, I'll just add extra 3 inches to the v-neck. So this is 3 inches, and you are going to connect it back. I'm going to connect it back. So for this, you can cut facing for it, and you can just use your bias to tape it if you don't want to use facing. Okay, let me use let me add 3.5 there. I'm using 3.5. So you connect it to this place, to the 3.5 you have there. This material is stretchy, so now you cut. So this is my new neckline for the front. Okay, so now I'm going to reshape the front armhole. The next thing now is to cut the sleeve. So guys, this is the sleeve. I'm cutting a straight sleeve, so the sleeve is 17 inches long, so I added extra 2 inches to it, so I have 19 inches. So to determine, so I also cut facing for the front neck. So this is what I have after cutting the facing for the front. Facing for the back as well, for the back slit. This is the facing for the back slit, because I'm gonna be putting zipper around here. So guys, I'm done stitching the gown. I already stitched the sleeve to the gown, then I've hemmed the lower parts. So the next thing to do, then I've also sewn the facing. I've sewn the facing, the front facing, and the zipper facing at the back. I've sewn that one too, so I'm going to be attaching the zipper here. But the next thing I'll be doing is I'll cut out the collar that's going to stay around the neck. So I'll cut it out. So once I'm done cutting it out, I'll join it to the neck. Then the last thing I will do is to attach the zipper. So I'm done with every other thing. The next thing is just to cut out the collar and to fix the zipper. So this is my sleeve after joining. So then one thing I want to show you is when I was joining the back shoulder and the front shoulder together, I left about half an inch here. This half an inch will serve for the sewing allowance of the collar sewing allowance. That's where you're going to be stitching the collar on. Okay, do not forget that. That's where you're gonna be stitching the collar. So now I will show you how to cut the collar. As this is the collar that I want to cut. So the first thing you will do, the material I'm using is soft, so I doubled the material, and you can also add stay to it. So now once you fold your fabric at the center, make sure you're starting from the center. You measure the neck. So remember, the neck I have at the front is on fold is 5 inches, so when you open it you have 10 inches. So for the back I have 6 inches on fold. When I open, I have 3 for the back I have 3 inches on fold. When I open is 6 inches, so 6 plus 10 inches, I have 16 inches. So now because this fabric is on fold, I'm going to measure half of the 16 inches, which is 8 inches. So this is the 8 inches here. Then you come up here, you first of all take off 1 inch, half an inch seam allowance at the lower part here, at the down part here. Then from the half an inch seam allowance, after the half an inch seam allowance, then you measure like 2 inches. It depends on the width of the collar you are using. I'm using the collar I'll be using is just one inches. So now so I measured 2 inches upward. So then I squared the lines up. So now the next thing you do is to determine the center. So the center of the 8 inches is here, is 4 inches. So this is the center. So from this place, for the one at the back, not from the center, you go up by 1 inch. It's not the one on fold. You go from the one that is going to be at the back, you go up by 1 inch. So from that 1 inch, you curve it to the middle point here. So if you have a curve ruler, you can do that. So you connect it to the center here. So you have something like this. So once you are done doing all of this, then you now take the height of the width of your collar. So I'm using 1 inches. So this is a 1 inch here. So I'll be adding half an inch seam allowance to it. So I have the 1 inch here. So from here to, so I'll add half an inch seam allowance to it, so making 1.5. So 1.5 is what I will measure from that curve there. I'll measure 1.5. So once you are done curving, then you also take your half an inch seam allowance for the lower part here too. So now this is what I have. So the one that came down, this side that came down is the side that will be going. So you'll be cutting 2 of this, okay? You'll be cutting 2 of this. So this side that came down is the one that will go inside the neck, okay? So now I will take to my sewing machine and stitch together. So guys, this is the final look of the dress. So this is the neck, this is the collar, and this is the v-neck. So I'll show you the back. This is the zipper at the back. So guys, I hope you find this video helpful. Please, if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also click the like button, and don't forget to share the video. So guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.